Hi, SLers. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing okay. So, I wanted to create this video as a thank you, and some of you guys might be like, "Ugh, how is this a thank you? Like, I'm barfing in my mouth." But, anyways, this is a thank you because ever since I put out a What Did I Do with My Hair video, Where Did I Get My Hair, and the Shopping the Access event, I gained 5 more subscribers and maybe 50, 60, 70 or so more views. And I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for supporting me. This really encourages me to create more videos and let you know what's going on in my SL life. With that being said, I just want to remind you, please like and subscribe. Thank you for joining the family. Again, this is your girl Mousy, the ultimate clout chaser, and this is what I do at SL for fun. So today's a perfect example of when I would do this. So I'm homesick. Today's my last day probably being home because I've been on some antibiotics. I've had strep throat. It has not been good. It hasn't been fun. But I'm feeling somewhat better as I was yesterday, which is why I made some videos. You know, once those antibiotics kick in, there we go. So if my voice sounds weird, I'm super congested, my ear hurts. It's just a hot mess going on over here. But I'm at the College of Scripting, Music, and Science. Excuse me. So right now my friends aren't here because they're at work. And I don't have many people that I can hang out with, even at Hangout Sims, because a lot of people are either at work or school or just doing their thing and living their life. But I'm home alone. My son's at school, and then afterwards he's with his dad today. So this is what it is. So for me, this is fun. I I'm not like a hobby scripter. I'm not the best scripter. I won't propose or purport to tell you that. But what I will tell you is that I do enjoy learning. I enjoy learning about a lot of things, but SL scripting is one of those things. And one of the benefits to you, if you were to learn SL scripting, it can help you set up a store so that when people buy things, that you can issue items and pack items and unpack items. What else can it help you with? If you were a person who threw an event and you know how to build, and you had those little, you know, when you go to events, there's these little kiosks, and it may be assigned to Soul or Pseudo or these different vendors. You could put an object box with a floating text that says Pseudo, you're here, Soul, you're here, Mousy, you're there, and whomever, you're anywhere. And so that's the benefit to that. Before I jump in any further, let me tell you what I'm wearing. So today I am wearing some jeans from Miss Chelsea that I got 2 weeks ago at the, what is it? Saturday sale, not happy at weekend sale. This was at the Saturday sale. This hair I got from YU. It is long braids with some gold detail. The hair base came from Hair U as well. It was a little expensive, guys. It was 600 linden. The only thing I don't like about the hair base, I think it could have been better. The earrings I'm wearing from the Hump Day sale. Remember the clouds with the dangling raindrops at the end? I got that for 69 linden. A bra from Big Beautiful Lingerie. And I was watching Mila Vanderbilt's video, and she was at the Custom 9 sale. And I was like, shit, this was an event I should have covered because it had really good stuff. There were a lot of unique items that I liked, and she was looking at some Mia Bellabio eyelashes, and she passed these sneakers by Versoft, and I was like, hold on, Playgirl, you can't pass those sneakers just like that. So of course I went to check it out, and that's what I bought. So anyways, this is the outfit of the day. This is what I'm rocking in SL. It probably is going to be the outfit for the next few days. It's super cute, and I really like it. So, getting back to scripting. If you come into the College of Scripting and Music, on the first floor, there are many books. They are the same books, and they're like the beginning of chapters 1 and 3. It's like a beginner's guide to scripting, and there can be, I think there's like 4 books in front of me, and then there's 4 books on the side and 3 behind me. So how many number of books are here? That's how many people can be here actually resing out objects, which are prim boxes, to learn scripting. If you advance from these 3 chapters and you find it's something that you like, you can go ahead and buy the LSL scripting book. And this book cost 1,250 linden, and that's quite pricey. Previously they sold this book in 3 parts: a beginner's part, like 350 linden. If you stuck to that and you got through all your pages, then you would go on to the second book and then the third. But now it's all a combined book, all 836 pages in one book. Here is a wall that tells you like the skills or things that you should do in order to become a good scripter. So let's just zoom in here. So it says, write out every script that you see with your pencil and paper. I think that's a really good idea because you'll forget things. And you're going to learn a lot. So you'll get a lesson and it builds on top every single time. And there are some certain things, especially your beginning lessons or colors and stuff like that, you just want to know. So that would be really helpful. Type out every script you see with your keyboard. We're going to do that. See the code in your mind, visualize seeing functions and events. Functions you can use from a drop down menu. I'll show you that. Say the functions and events out loud, speak them in conversations. It's only helpful if you're talking to other scripters, but I would, if you find that you like this, like say you get up to page, I don't know, 25 to 50 between those pages and you're into it, join some scripting groups so that you can get some ideas on how to do things and you can meet up with people in classes and learn more. Listen to other scripters talk to you about code because that'll just reinforce what you learned. Obviously, create lots of scripts. Feel free to make thousands. There are tons of them on. There's like a wiki scripting page. I'll put the link below after I search for it. And make one change at a time, hit the save button. This is important because the longer your scripts get, if you make a mistake, it's going to be harder to find. It does point out where the mistake is, like say line 8 or so, but if you change things incrementally, it'll be easy to identify where errors are, and you'll see that when I show you because I'm going to work on one or two scripts with you. Make scripts for people and do it free of charge. Yes, that's a good idea. Ask people many details of what they want before starting a script. That's as you progress. Obviously, I don't think you're going to be starting scripts for anyone just yet. Teach people how to script by teaching. You learn very deeply, and that's obviously very true. Diagram what scripts do visually. So before you start a project, maybe you want to write it out, like to get an idea, and send your friends to where you learn College of Music and Scripting. So that's a shameless plug right there. All right, so getting back to my hobby. So I've res the box out here. All right, I don't need to move, just my cam needs to move. I always gotta remember that. So I've res the box, and this is how you res a box. You just right click on your mouse, create. You're gonna hear a whooshing sound. It's already pre-selected to a box. The lovely sound of whooshing. And that's what you wanna do. This is the scripting book. I'm already on page 11. I've just basically skipped tons of pages. And the pages are just basically reviewing what scripting is, what the point is. I'll read the first page of it so that you know how to write efficient code, how to link things. So this is what the book looks like. Let's just go to chapter 1. Chapter 1. Okay, this is chapter 1. Sorry about that. It just tells you that there's 3 chapters. Living scripting language is all about events and something happens. And did something happen when you touched an object, collided, sat on, like when you have the animations, when you paid for something sensed by an object, like if you walked by, did it tell you how tall you are, how many scripts you have, things like that. Uh, what a person is saying, what happens when you attach a object, control, so on and so forth, right? So to make a new script, which is what we're going to do right now, I'm just going to walk you through this page. You right click an object and you choose a box. Then you click on the edit button, and once you're in the edit button, this is the page that'll show up. And it's just like when you fix your rigged hairs and things like that, except you're working on this bottom half and you're going to hit the button new script. What it will do is create a script icon, which you will double click. It already has a script in here. So when you create an object in SL, it automatically says hello avatar and local. That's what it says. And the instruction comes from this LL save function. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a short script that is going to talk to us or whomever owns the object. So if you were to give this object to a friend, this is what it would say, right? So the first thing on the 0 line is always the default. The second thing is that you open a bracket. And open a bracket is like it's condensing the instructions. So you're telling the computer, this is what I want you to do, and then you're closing it. You always have one open bracket in the beginning and a closed bracket because it's just compiling all of your instructions. So you can just put an open bracket and a closed bracket at the very end if you wanted to start that way. That's fine. And I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to leave that closed bracket there. So this is how you should always start a script, right? Then you're going to put in a function. And this function says, when you touch this object, what will happen? So I'm going to go to insert, and we're going to go to touch function. I wonder if I could type it. Touch underscore start. Oops, oopsie, sorry, that was wrong. So let's go to insert, touch underscore start. I'm gonna have to scroll. So touch underscore start, or we could just type it out, no biggie. Okay, so that doesn't pop up. That's so weird. But it's okay, no big deal. So we'll just type it in. All right, so let's put a space, touch. Make sure you spell it right. Underscore start. And then you're gonna put a parentheses, integer, space X, close the parentheses, and that is given the script instruction. When you touch this object, this is what should happen. So touch underscore start, usually when you give an instruction, it should change in color, either to blue or red. That's how you know that the instruction is correct and the system registers it. So system has registered, that's not a problem. So that's the first instruction. So we're gonna open another parentheses, and the parentheses is gonna look towards me, my direction. So we're just going to open a parentheses, and then we're going to try to insert again. So lowercase l, owner, owner says. So put that function in, and you see it turns red. The system understands the instruction. So parentheses, say something. So what I'm going to say is Mousy is a baddie. It's very true for many reasons. And then I'm going to close the parentheses, and then I'm going to close the quotation marks, close the parentheses, and move on to the next line. And I got to sandwich in this in, so now I got to close this again. So close it, and I made a mistake, guys. But I'm going to leave the mistake for the purpose of showing you something. So if I save this, it won't save. And the reason why it says line number 3 is an error is I have the parentheses going the wrong way. It should have actually faced the other direction. So to open sandwich, line 5 is closing the sandwich. So now if I save it, it should be fine. Oh, it's not fine. Hold on a second. Default, open parentheses, touch start integer X, open parentheses, owner says, Mousy is a baddie, that's correct. It says that line 5 is an error. Why is that an error? It shouldn't be an error. It should not be an error. Let's take it away, because maybe it's just saying we don't need it, but let's take it away. Hold on a second. Huh. Default, open parentheses, touch start integer X. Okay, that's fine. Open parentheses, owner says, that's fine. Mousy is a baddie, that's fine. Oh, I forgot this. Very important. Semicolon closes an instruction. Period, comma, that's what you want to use. And I am going to put my close parentheses back. That was my error. And then save. Don't embarrass me. All right, compile successful, save. So now I'm going to close out my script, close the edit button, and I'm going to touch this. Now that I touch the object, it's reading in local, Mousy is a baddie. So that was the script that we put in. Now, this obviously teaches you how to be really detail orientated, which will help you at work, it'll help you at school, it'll help you in life with your child, so you can pay attention to their shady ass behavior. Mine is just 4, he already has shady behavior, so that helps. The next script that we're going to create is floating text. So I'm going to review this really quickly with you. So default is always at the 0 line, and then we open and close a bracket. Open is at 1, close a bracket. Then we state an entry. So state an entry says this is what it's going to stay, right? And then we open a bracket, and we're going to set the text. All right, so let me just do that right now. So we've already res this box. We're hitting edit, new script. So default is at 0. We already have the 1. We have the open bracket at 1, the close bracket, and state entry is there, so I don't really want to get rid of it. So what I'm going to do is erase everything else. So again, default, we have an open bracket, we have a closed bracket. You always need to open and close the sandwich, so we just do that automatically. We have state entry, and the instruction is for a string message to float above a box. Then we have to open a bracket again. So we're opening the bracket. Then we're going to go to enter. We're going to go to insert, lowercase l, set. I don't know why that happens. Okay, lowercase l, s. I don't know, like when you want to type in the second word, why it doesn't just come up. I think it should just come up. Like, especially in 2020, our technology should be able to set text. All right. So lowercase double L set text. Let's put that in here. We're going to create a parentheses. And instead of hi, everyone, we're going to say Mousy got that clout. Because we're just making it fun. Oh, actually, Mousy says subscribe to her YouTube channel. I'm going to put this message out there for all of you guys. And then once we do that, we close the quotation. That's the text. We've set the text. Then we're going to do comma, caret. I don't remember what greater than less than sign is. So please forgive me for that. 1.0. So right now we're putting a color. The color is a series of numbers here, right? So I think this color is that we're putting up is white. So 1.0, 1.0, 1.0, comma, 1.0, comma, 1.0, 1.0, and then close the caret. And then we're going to put a comma. 1.0 tells us the opacity, whether it's semi-translucent, bold, or clear that you can't even see a damn thing. And then we're going to close the parentheses, and then we're going to semicolon. You must semicolon, guys. That's attention to detail that you have to pay. And then we're going to close the bracket. Okay, that's done. Let's save that. And that was successful. All right, so let's close all this stuff. Mousy says subscribe to her YouTube channel. There we go. We have it here. Now I'm going to play with some things to show you something. Let's edit this box right here. Now, if we wanted to change the color, I'm going to change this to 0.0 and I'm a comma 1.0. This should change it to pink. And I'm going to set the opacity to 0.5. So 1 is the boldest, and now I'm going to do 5. Let's save that, close. I'm sorry, so that actually came out to green. I'm going to pull it up a bit. Okay? And it's not as dark as, say, Mousy's got that clout. It's not as dark. So I'm going to change the opacity and change the color again. I don't remember the colors off the top of my head, so I am just messing with my ones and zeros. So 1.0, comma 0.0, comma 0.0, and I'm going to change the opacity to 1. I hope I didn't pick like a color that is not going to be helpful to us. I don't know what color that is. It looks orange, but it's 1 and that's the darkest. It looks orange. All right. So that's the darkest. So let's change it to 1.0, 1.0, 0.0, 1.0. Let's see what color that is. You just have to memorize your colors or have it written down somewhere. It's all a surprise to me at this point. Oh, you know what happened? The opacity is at 1. I'm sorry, guys. So this opacity should be at 1 point. Actually, you know what? Let's put it to 2. Let's see if it does something. But I think that it has to be 1. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so that's pink. And that's even bolder, right? And then we're going to edit this again. And we are going to change this to 0.0. Let's see what color that is. It's a trick question. And that's translucent or clear. So we are going to put this to 5. Let's see what happens. So it looks like 1 is the darkest it can get. But anyway, so that's how you have a floating text. If you were to have a bet and you had those like, you know, at Custom 9 where you have those kiosks where you want Sol or Pseudo or different vendors, my Biavio, to set up, you could just put a box in there. You could set the text and say my Bilavio, or you could say Pseudo, or you could say Sul, or you could say Boosh, and you could kind of let everyone know where they go without necessarily having to send a map. But if you sent a map, they would know in advance. They're either to the right, to the left, the center, whatever. So that's how that can be helpful. Or if you had a sim where you were renting apartments and wanted to assign zones and things haven't been built, like you haven't built your Starbucks, you haven't built your stores, you could set that up that way. That's what you could do with like your beginner rudimentary scripter skills that you have after watching this video. All right, So let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so this is basically instruction telling you what's happening. So we have default state entry is when script begins or changes state. That's what that tells you. Set text is floating text above your object. Then it tells you the color 1, comma 0, comma 1 is a pink color, and alpha set to solid, which is 1.0. Okay, so there you go. It's just explaining things in detail. It's telling you that it's two lowercase l's for the function. I'm sorry, every time I type it pops up. And then it tells you in quotes what your message is going to be, and semicolon closes things up, and what you need to parenthesize, and what needs to be uppercase, and what buttons you need to press, hold shift period, and it's case sensitive, so on and so forth. So for example, set text must have a capital S, a capital T, otherwise it will not work. All right, and this page here tells you the colors. So it tells you what red is. So that color I thought was orange was in fact red. It tells you what green is, 0.0, comma 1.0, comma 0.0 is green. Blue is the one at the end with all zeros preceding it. Yellow is two ones with a zero at the end, so on and so forth. Black is all zeros. All right. And one is solid, five is semi-solid, and one is invisible. So it's telling you that. We kind of went through it. And then the next thing, it gives you a more advanced script because we're building on what we've learned. So default is what it always says. That's how you begin your script. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to do this without that stuff popping up. Then we have state entry is when the script begins. We have our high text, and the color that we chose is yellow. The alpha is solid. And then it gives an instruction. When you touch this box, it should change its state. And the state should change to you touched me, and then it gives you a color to give that message, which is blue, if I'm not mistaken. Then the box should sleep for 4 seconds, and then it should reset itself back again. So I've already done this here. I did it before you guys jumped on with me. So default, state entry, set text, Mousie's got that clout, which is hovering over in yellow. And then touch start. When you touch the box, it's going to say you touched it. And I'm going to add, and I'm going to change the message to please like this video. Please like my video, right? And then I'm going to save it, and everything else is all set. Now I'm going to close everything, and I'm going to touch the box. It says, please like my video. And it should sleep for 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reset back to Mousie's got that clout. All right, and so this is some just very beginner scripting lessons that we've done here. And I really highly recommend, like, if you guys don't have anything to do, because, you know, SL could be highly addictive, you know, like, so it makes me feel better to do a little something that's kind of, I'm sorry. I should learn about camming. That's what I should do next. It makes me feel a little bit better to learn about something that's kind of constructive on SL. Like, this is really constructive. Making YouTube videos is constructive. Helping you guys find free things and save your linens is constructive. But I also want to help you make money. And I think learning these books could help you make money. Another thing, I am using Firestorm. So let's go to events. And I'm going to type the words scripting because I want to find classes on scripting, and I'm going to hit the word enter, and it says on 2/8 at 2 o'clock p.m. there is a beginning scripting series at Builders Brewery. So weekly beginning scripting series, expect to have fun while learning to script. Yes, it can happen. You may have something to show for it at the end because the instructor likes to cover current topics that are high in demand in group chat. The finer class details are posted closer to the date of the class and also in group notices. Contact William Beauclerk for details and level of class that week if it's not already posted here at the time you'd like to know. Thanks. And the length of the class is 60 minutes, and it gives you a teleport there. I will leave the teleport in my video as well. Let me copy this URL. Builders Brewery. So 2/8 at 2 p.m. See how I take care of you guys? I'm like your secretary too. So I am going to write this information down. So 2/8, 2 p.m. SL time. and that'll give you a little something to do if you're interested in learning how to script. And there was another class that happened on Sunday. I've actually taken this class and made like a tip jar with particles and things like that. And so the more you learn, the more confident that you're going to be, and then you're going to start looking for scripts and breaking them apart. So one fun project that I did was I created a blunt, but I didn't have any like hand to mouth smoking animation, so I used an alcohol animation. So it was funny because it looked like you were drinking the blunt, but I actually like revised it so that it said time to get high and local, and kind of like what we did with owner says, excuse me, or you could set it to say. And then the second thing that I did was I had effects. Like it was timed after a minute, or like say 60 seconds to 90 seconds, you would start feeling like woozy, and then it would put another message like, fuck, I'm high right now. And then you'd keep going, and it says, I don't want to be this high. Because you know, sometimes when you smoke too much weed, it's like not a pleasant situation. So I would add all that information in. But as you get to do this and become a little bit better and more proficient, you'll start doing more things. You'll start seeking out more classes and more groups. So on this first floor is where you can learn about coding. All these books are the same exact book, chapters 1 to 3, and it looks like it goes up to 124 pages. I'm going to go to the end. Hold on. So this is the end, and it's 265 pages of knowledge, guys. I think what we were doing, we were only up to page like 11. Let me just double check that. We're up to page 17. So you've already learned a lot in 17 pages. So imagine what you would know at page 266. I don't want to overwhelm you by giving you too much, but I will take you to the second floor. This is the second floor. It's SL 101. It tells you about using your camera, but this is more or less with the SL browser, which I'm not sure that anyone uses. There's also a JavaScript book, 121 pages of tutorials. This could be really helpful because when I started learning scripting, it piqued my curiosity and I wanted to learn about coding outside of this. So I joined Code Academy and I've taken classes on Udemy like to learn like universal coding language, and I learned about web HTML pages and I started on Java. But you know, if you wanted to learn about this, like your web browser Java stuff, you could learn how to create a web page here. It's very easy and it's so much fun to learn. Code Academy has like a 7-day trial period. Uh, okay, so there are those books. What is this? Hold on a second. How to use return, return with else, continued script from previous pages. Compiled in one script. I don't know where these scripts are coming from. I think this is one script to learn. I'm not really sure. Clearly, I'm not at this level yet. And then we have Building 101. There's books on that if you wanted to learn how to build. I'm just walking you through here. I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm just skipping some pages so that you can get an idea. It shows you how to move, edit objects, rotate, resize it, delete objects, which a lot of us know that kind of basic stuff already. I think that's going to show you how to copy objects, how to lengthen it, use the ruler, so on and so forth. So if you're interested in learning how to build, but you can never make any classes at the Builders Brewery, this is a good place to come. I really enjoy this place. It's one of my favorite places in SL. Okay, and then floor 3, light detector circuits, dark detector circuits, and I'm assuming this is for like some music stuff, LED light circuits, water detector circuits. I'm not interested in any of this, but if you are, come check it out. There's just a lot to learn here. Uh, what is this? GitHub, Visual Studio Code, CodePen, Blender, 3D tools, and much more. What is this? It's going to take me to the website. Let's go to the page. I'm just curious what this shows me. So it takes you to blender.org. It tells you to download Blender. But are there any books? And then they have Days 3D Character Studios, Make Human Characters, GIMP, Ink Landscape, Libre Office. The only thing is Blender, it would have been nice if it took you to a class, but it's my understanding there are Blender classes in SL. Let's check that really quickly. So Blender, I'm just in Firestorm and I'm at events. I don't see anything. This is DJ Bra Blender Blues. And then Guitar Book. Let's see what this is teaching us. It's teaching us the strings and how to play guitar. Like if you needed a book, but for some reason you couldn't afford it or download something free on Kindle or find something online, there you go. Okay, and then we have this will make any car, plane, or motorcycle much more realistic. And there's just things on sale, 200 lindens. This is an anti-griefer HUD, and it's free. Oh, it's 400 linden. I thought it was free for some reason. All right, so this is anti-griefer HUD and a greeter when someone comes into your landmark and you want to give them like an invite and stuff like that. 200 linden, not a bad price. Let's see what else. Speedometer. Measures altitude, donation plates for your sim. Alright, let's see what's back here. Darwin's teleport. 700 lindens, recordable grand piano, pumpkin sale, guitar book. Alright then. Like, if you guys are interested in any of this stuff, that's what it is. And now I'm just going to go back to the lower floor. Sit here. I'm sorry guys, my tummy's growling. Sit here. I'm just going to go down, down. Down to the first floor. Alright, so we're back where we started. I don't know how interested you guys are in this music room. Circumference of a circle. There are tons of free gifts down here too. But only take it if you're going to use it. Be a responsible gift taker. Linden Lab functions like to create band lines and things like that. These are free gifts here. Okay, so anyways, that's the school in a nutshell. I think it's a really amazing place and I would highly recommend it. Do something constructive. Like, I love to have fun on SL. I love to sext, like have tech sex and watch the animations and have fun and laugh and hang out on these hangout sims where people argue and do stupid shit. And I also like, some of these sandboxes that are a little crazy, but it's also fun to like just develop yourself and develop your skills. This is 2020, guys, so we just want to be like well-rounded individuals. And not only that, like learning things expands like your brain, the branches of your brain tree, and it helps you to critically think better. And critical thinking helps with many things like your relationships, like when to shut the fuck up and when to argue, how to pick battles, how to communicate. And it just helps you think a couple steps ahead and look at things in terms of the broader picture and what the consequences and what the effect is up and down, left and right. So that is my lecture and spiel. I Scripting is fun, and if it's not scripting for you, find something else. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is what I do, one of the many things I do in SL. Have fun, enjoy, and I hope you take advantage of this landmark. Mwah. Bye, guys.